From laid off to lifted up, Toron's viral story proves that resilience, grit, and trust in something bigger can turn any setback into a triumphant comeback. What's going on, everybody? It's Professor Zeus, and I'm back with another video. If this is your first time on the channel, just know I greatly appreciate you. Why don't you go ahead and hit subscribe? We're on our way to 2,000 subscribers. We are taking it the humble route. Guys, listen, if you have ever been feeling stuck, discouraged, or just feel like life is throwing too many punches for you to take the brunt of, today's video is for you. A while back, we talked about Toron. He was a federal worker who got caught up in the administration's layoffs of federal workers. And, his story went viral because, it seemed like he had an unshakable spirit. And, he's given us some updates, about after, 5 weeks of grinding, it looks like Toron has landed a new job. And let me tell you something. His journey is a masterclass in resilience, grit, and being able to trust in something bigger than ourselves, right? So, get comfortable, grab a coffee, whatever you got to do. We're going to look into how Toron turned a setback into a comeback and how you can too. Stick around because this is going to lift you up, guys. So let's check it out.
I want to tell y'all, I had several job offers to come in. Several. Tomorrow would make 5 weeks of me being on the job market, unemployed. But within that 5 weeks, a lot of great things have happened. I've interviewed with several companies, and I had job offers come in yesterday. So I must say, God is good. And this is why I tell people, you need to put your focus on God. Don't put your focus on the situation. Don't put your focus on the people that's quote unquote causing the situation, because God has a plan. You have to build that faith, and you have to lean on Him and not lean on your own understanding. Understand that when things are not going your way, or when things are not going the way for the whole country, just know that God has a plan. And what God says, it has to be fulfilled. And this is what I want you all to know. And I know a lot of you were upset with me because I told you to pray for Trump. I told you to pray for Elon Musk, when it came to the federal workers. And I don't think a lot of you understood what I meant. The thing is this: the Bible speaks about turning the other cheek. The Bible speaks about, praying for your neighbor. The Bible speaks about these things. The Bible speaks about treating others how you would like to be treated. The Bible also speaks about, treating others a certain way when you have God, so that they can see God in the situation. So I did not take the approach of downing people and just talking crazy. And I understand everybody's entitled to do what they want to do, but that's not the approach I took, because I understand that when you give love in return, people get to see the light of God. So it's been 5 weeks of me being unemployed. Not even. I was shy 2 days. And I received what God had for me. And that's not because I'm better than anyone. No. That's not the reason. It's because God had that plan for me, and I leaned into Him, and I put all my faith in Him, and I dropped down to my knees daily. I put time into Him, and I seeked His face, and I asked Him throughout this season, I'm okay. Well, I told Him I'm okay with being the example, because as you all may know, I made a video talking about how I lost my job, and it went viral. And I was on Good Morning America. It was a lot of things that happened. I did 2 interviews with news stations, and I took such a positive approach that they made my videos kind of short, because it was nothing bad that I was going to say about anyone. I understand that God is doing something. We may not agree with it. Let's just say that. A lot of you, see, the problem is a lot of you don't agree with what God is doing.
And let me just stop right there. I am going to put this the link to this video in the description so you guys can check it out. So, again, Toron was the federal worker, steady job, benefits, the whole deal. Then, when the new administration came, he got swept up with the different layoffs, and he was out of a job. Yeah, most people would have spiraled and been extremely frustrated, and we have seen that. I've covered that in some of my previous videos, how a lot of people were just so frustrated that they got caught up in those layoffs. But just different types of emotions, like anger, you know, you know, just even giving up, right? We've all saw it when it was first happening, but not Toron, right? In his video, he shared how he refused to let the layoff define him. Talking about waking up every day with purpose, just hitting the ground running, and believing that something better was out there for him, right? People just didn't watch that video, they felt it, right? Millions of people were able to see his determination and cheered him on, right? Because deep down, we all want to believe that resilience can pay off. And for Toron, it did, right? So 5 weeks of rejection, uncertainty, and hustling. And Toron has now got a new job, right? And it seems like it's a job that he's extremely excited about, right? Obviously he's not going to share all the details, but he did say, he's going to keep pushing, trusting the process, and different things like that. So, and that's gold, right? 5 weeks isn't forever, but when you're in it, it definitely feels like it, right? But Toron didn't let the clock dictate his worth. He stayed resilient. He had grit, and he leaned into something bigger, his trust in God, right? You call it faith, call it the universe, call it hope, whatever. But he believed in something bigger than himself, and he knew that it gets greater later. And that's what carried him through, right? And now he's proof that it does get better with time, right? So what can we really learn from Toron? First, resilience isn't something you're born with, right? It's a choice. Life is going to constantly knock you down, and that's really not up for debate. But what is how you get back up, right? Toron could have stayed down, just being extremely sad, why me, all those different types of things. But instead, he chose to see the layoff as a detour, right? Not a dead end. And here's the thing. Resilience isn't about pretending everything's fine. It's about feeling the weight, acknowledging the hurt, and still saying, I'm going to keep going, right? If you're watching this video and you're in a rut, job loss, heartbreak, whatever it is, always know this, right? You're not weak for struggling. You're, in fact, strong for showing up anyway. And that's where the magic starts, right? The next lesson is grit and determination are our superpowers. Toron didn't land, this new job by luck. 5 weeks of, searching, putting in so many different applications, so many different no's, and some days where he probably really doubted himself, right? But grit is what keeps his engine running, right? That I'm not done type of energy, right? Determination isn't glamorous. It's sweaty. It's messy. It's, staying up late, tweaking your resume, or practicing for that interview just one more time. And the secret, every no that Toron got, it wasn't a rejection, right? It wasn't a rejection. It was a redirection, right? Now, if you're not out there hustling, don't let all the no's you're going to get, don't let it break you. They're just pointing you towards your yes, right? So just keep swinging. And the last lesson I'll probably say is, Toron trusted in something bigger than himself, right? He didn't have all the answers, but he believed that there was a plan, right? A purpose, a light at the end of the tunnel. And for you, that could be your faith in God, the universe, or just the idea that time heals, right? Whatever it is, let that trust be your anchor. When you're down and out, it's easy to feel like, you're alone in the fight. But Toron's story reminds us you're not. There's always something bigger at work, even when you can't see it, right? So just try to hold on to that, because the moment you stop believing it'll get better in that moment, you stop fighting for it. And always remember, it will get better. So there you have it, man. Congratulations to Toron. I've been following his story, man. I'm extremely happy. I'm extremely proud. And, this is a comeback. This comeback should be a roadmap, literally, for anyone feeling lost right now. Choose resilience, choose grit, and trust in something bigger that, all these things are going to pull for you, right? If Toron can go from laid off to lifted up in 5 weeks, you can climb out of whatever situation you're in too, Now, it might not happen overnight, right? But it will happen. Time's on your side, right? If you feel this, just let me know in the comments, all right? Share this video with a friend. Hit the like. Hit the notification bell. And never forget, man, you can do anything you put your mind to. And also never forget, is you and I verse. Information, application, execution. Until next time, peace.